The Lake Erie Grape Discovery Center is the official visitor center for the New York State Lake Erie Concord Grape Belt Heritage Area. Supporting and promoting the grape industry, visit us and learn about grape growing history in the Lake Erie region. Shop for grapey gifts, taste local wine in a Concord vineyard. Westfield Memorial Hospital provides high-quality health care to residents of Western New York, offering patients the most sophisticated medical advancements while keeping the ease and familiarity of a community hospital. Support for Chautauqua Sunrise has been provided by WRFA 107.9 FM, Jamestown's public radio station, streaming online 24/7 at WRFALP.com. Low power to the people. Funding is provided by a grant from New York State Senator Catherine M. Young, representing Western New York's 57th District with a local office in Olean. Chautauqua Sunrise is made possible by a grant from Fredonia Place, a continuing care retirement community providing dignity in a modern luxury environment. Meter's Restaurant, a family tradition for over 50 years in downtown Ripley, is a proud supporter of Chautauqua Sunrise. Meter's provides all-day dining, banquet services, and custom catering, specializing in pie. From the Access Channel 5 studios in Mayville, it's Chautauqua Sunrise. Chautauqua Sunrise is hosted by Doc Hamels and supported by the award-winning volunteers at Access Channel 5. Continuing the traditions of Senior Report, we are here to share local news, colorful interviews, and events of interest to everyone. Chautauqua Sunrise is broadcast live Saturday mornings each week, countywide, from 9 to 10 a.m. Join us by calling in live, emailing us, or checking out our social media. And now, from the Channel 5 studios, it's Chautauqua Sunrise.
Hey, happy Saturday, everyone, and welcome to Chautauqua Sunrise. I'm Doc Hamels, and we do have a great show in store for you today. If you're just visiting for the first time in Chautauqua County, hey, welcome. This is a beautiful county to be in, and especially this time of year, but also year-round. It's unbelievable here. There's always something great going on, and we're going to be talking to you a little bit about a lot of events that are happening and a really major event that I'm going to tell you about later on. Okay, if you're visiting a Chautauqua institution, hello, and good day to all of you as well. We know that you're just down the road, and I think many of you watch the show throughout the week. So if you can only watch part of this, they do rebroadcast this at 2 and 8 every day, and you can catch us on YouTube and so forth. Anyways, welcome. As we go along, folks, if anyone has a question or a comment, you have an announcement for your club or organization, give us a call right here at the station, 753-5225, and we'll take your message, they'll send it to me, or you can announce it live. You can have your 15 seconds of fame here, and we'll be happy to talk with you, okay? I also want to say good afternoon to our friends at WRFA, who will be listening to this show Tuesday at 1 o'clock, and we're so glad that you could join us as well at 107.9, low power to the people. Okay. A few things to share with you, and then we're going to get started. I wore a special shirt today because I was trying to get in the mood, because today we're going to be talking about wild things in America, and I'm just giving you a little sample of what's going to be coming up, but we're going to have some fun with that. And also stay tuned, because somewhere in the next, whatever we got, 55 minutes left of the show, we're going to give away 2 passes to an event coming up next weekend that you're going to want to call in for. So it'll be free, and we'll tell you more about that in a little bit. All right, hope you're enjoying the weather. It's getting a little crazy. It's our muggy season right now, and it'll end probably in 20 minutes, and then we'll be cold again. Weather here, you never know. It's great though. But we're having good blueberries. I don't know about out your way. A lot of the fruit is coming up, and I see the corn is really taking off with some of the rain we've had. So it's a good growing season. So enjoy the great weather and the lakes and all the things that I'll be talking to you about here shortly. In case you are in the Lakewood area this afternoon from 4 to 7, yours truly will be performing with my partner Will Russell over at the Lakewood Rod and Gun Club. So join us out on the patio. And next Friday from 11 to 1, we'll be playing at the Westfield Arts and Crafts Show. And then later in the day, for those of you that belong to the Moonbrook Country Club, we'll be playing 6 to 9. So we got a doubleheader that day. All right, let's see what else I want to tell you. All right, I got a bunch of announcements, so let's get right to that, and then we'll get to the heart of our show. All right, let's start right off in Jamestown. As you know, we bounce all over the place with our announcements. My good friends at Pulse Poetry Slam, they're going to have an open mic night, and it's going to be on August 3rd from 6 p.m. at the Infinity Arts Cafe over on 2nd Street. Poets and audience members are welcome. Let's see, also they're having their Kaleidoscope performance. Students from the Infinity Visual and Performing Arts Center will be showcasing their talents. A Kaleidoscope performance on Friday, August 4th, that would be the next day, from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m., again in the cafe. These Kaleidoscope nights are ever-changing, but an interesting mix featuring a wide variety of performers, such as Infinity music, poetry, dance, theater students, the Infinity instructors, and invited guests from the community will be there as well. And the show is always different. It's free, friendly, and open to the public. Okay, also coming up on September 9th, we've talked a little bit about this. They're looking for volunteers to help out at the local music showcase, which is the evening where you get a wristband, for one money, and you can walk all over Jamestown area and listen to all sorts of music, every genre you can think of, from country to rock to acoustic rock to folk to original music. It's always a great evening. Will and I will be playing there as well, and I think we're in the wine cellar this year. That'll be the first for me. We're usually over at the Phoenix. But anyways, but they're looking for volunteers to help out, and if you're so inclined, give Stephanie Rogers a holler on her email at lms@infinityperformingarts.org. Okay, let's go to Asheville now. The Children's Safety Education Village. Just letting you know that they're going to have a public day. This should be interesting. This is new to us. All right, it's going to be on August 15th from 9:30 to 11:30, or an afternoon session, 12:30 to 2:30. Children kindergarten through 6th grade can come learn firsthand about traffic, bike, and fire safety. Parents are free and welcome to stay. Classes are limited, so sign up now. It's only $7 per child. The program includes outdoor training, which will take place in all weather conditions, rain or shine. Please dress children appropriately. Students must wear gym shoes. And for more information, give them a call at 499-8138. All right, let's go to Westfield. And just as a reminder, the Grape Discovery Center, one of our underwriters, is always looking for volunteers to help out in the various departments there at the center, whether it's retail sales or welcoming guests, helping people go through the displays on the history of grape farming and so on. And also at the Grape Discovery Center, they're going to have what they call the Grape Belt Open Golf Tournament. Okay, that's going to be held on August 12th, at the Pinehurst Golf Club. My friends the Swansons own that, and they are great people, and it's a great golf course. Here's the details. It's 18-hole for a four-person scramble. Sign in at 8:15. Shotguns start at 9. $65 per player. Includes refreshments at the turn and dinner dinner and awards following the tournament. I think I'm going to have to get the font larger on this thing here. All right. Where is going to be the Pinehurst Golf Course at 7428 Main Road. It's at Route 20 in Westfield as you're heading out of Westfield towards Brockton. Okay. Let's see here. They're looking for tea sponsors for $50, looking for a corporate sponsor for $295, and of course all the proceeds benefit the Grape Discovery Center, which is really the heart of especially western Chautauqua County, and all that they do here. It's a great industry, and this center really showcases all of that here in Chautauqua County. For more information, call Lisa at 326-5292 or Rosie at 410-7313. Okay, and you always can check in at the Pinehurst Golf Course. All right, let's go over to Celeron. Christmas in July. Toys for Tots. We've been talking a little bit about this. That's coming up next Saturday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Resource Center Administrative Offices at 200 Dunham Avenue in Celeron. They're still looking for vendors, and you can check that out. And remember, folks, this is going to help 2,400 children each year to have a better holiday. And if you're interested of setting up there or any questions, give Evelyn Wright Kegelmeyer a call at 661-1429. All right, now we're going to go up to Fredonia. We're bouncing around here. An evening in Barker Common coming up July 26th. The Fredonia Community Chamber of Commerce, in conjunction with the Village of Fredonia, will be holding an evening in Barker Common from 6:30 to 8:30. Again, that's July 26th. There will be fun for all ages, celebrating summer and the community. This is part of the Music in the Park series, with music provided by the New Horizons Band. A party jumper brought in by Pump It Up Fitness will be available. Wait a minute. A party jumper brought in by Pump It Up Fitness. I think that's all one term. I'm not sure. I don't know. Will be available as well as face painting sponsored by Aflac. Both of these activities will be free to children. Adults can enjoy a bag toss and check out selections from LuLaRoe by Sarah and Kelly, or enjoy local beer and wine by Mazza Vineyards. Beef on Weck will also be available thanks to Liberty Food and Spirits. All local businesses are encouraged to participate. For more information, give Dave Dengler a call at 445-7901 for more information. Okay, let's go to Westfield. My fellow thespians are putting on a show. Mornings at 7, okay? Lakeshore Center for the Arts presents Mornings at 7, written by Paul Osborne, directed by Joe Spann. 7 p.m. performances, doors open at 6:30 on July 21, 22, 28, and 29. Okay? 2 p.m. matinee, doors open at 1:30, and that's on July 30th. Upper level, it's held at the upper level of the Westfield Presbyterian Church on Porter Street in Westfield. You can go to tickets online, and go to the Lakeshore Center for the Arts website, or you can call 326-6254. Okay, and the productions there are outstanding, and you'll really enjoy that theater. It's intimate, and you can get a real sense of being close to the action there. All right, let's go over to Sherman. Sherman Day. Okay. The Sherman Day Committee would like to welcome everyone to the Sherman Day 2017. This year's events begin on Friday, August 4th, so mark your calendars, with an alumni dinner meeting starting at 6 p.m., Sherman Central School Cafeteria. Saturday, August 5th, exciting family events including the following: 8 o'clock, a 5K run walk; 10 a.m., the Grand Parade; 10 to 4, food and craft vendors, car show, antique tractor show, children's games, water slides, and a whole bunch of other stuff. 12 noon, Fireman's Chicken Barbecue. And it says 12 noon to whenever, and that whenever means when they sell the last leg. Okay, and they're also going to have a lawn tractor poker run. That always looks like a lot of fun. I've seen some videos of some of those things. All right, let's go up to Hanover. Hanover Community Chamber plans yard sales for August 5. People, I'm telling you, if you're bored in Chautauqua County, you must be locked in the house, because there is so much going on. All right, the Hanover Community Chamber of Commerce is again sponsoring the Silver Creek Village-wide yard sales. Okay, I will pay you $5 not to tell any of my family. 2017 marks the 25th year of this great event, which will be held on Saturday, August 5 for any resident in the 14136 zip code area. I wonder how you prove that. Here's my card. Regular sales will run from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Reduced prices will be offered during the Bunches of Bargains and will take place from 3:01 to 5 p.m. with participating homes designated on the yard sales maps. Woo, this is really organized. Registration forms are available now. Registration is $10. Participants holding yard sales are asked to sign up in person at the Silver Creek Optical at 41 Main Street. Registering in person will allow for the proper placement of each home on the yard sale map. That's the famous map. You got to have the map so people know where you are so they can come to your place. The registration deadline is Wednesday, August 2nd, and maps will be printed on the following day. Okay, so this sounds like a lot of fun, and we're going to talk to you more about this next week as there's more details. But mark your calendar, August 5, village-wide yard sale. Okay, a friend of mine, Deanna Coggins, took ill some time ago, and they're going to have a benefit for her. Let's see, in the Moose Lodge in Hamburg, New York, on August 6th, that's the next day, from 2 p.m. to whenever. Tickets are $20, available in advance, includes food, beer, pop, and a Chinese auction 50-50, and that benefits her medical expenses related to a stroke and aneurysm. And she's a heck of a woman, and if you can help her out, please do. Okay, let's see, Healthy Relationships Conference 2017. This was a new one that popped up last week. This is going to be held on August 16th, open to professionals and community members, presented by the Salvation Army Anew Center, and funded through Verizon's Hope Line grant. Cost free, and meals provided at no cost. Registration required, located at Peak and Peak Resort, which is a great venue in Clymer, New York. And it's basically a call to men, works to create a world where all men and boys are loving and respectful, and all women and girls are valued and safe. And then, that summarizes a lot these days, so I'm sure that's going to be a great workshop conference. And the keynote speaker is Juan Ramos, and we'll tell you a little bit more about that as we get closer. All right, Jamestown Cruisin'. Man, we got a lot of stuff going on. The Jamestown Chamber of Commerce will present Jamestown Cruisin' August 18th in downtown Jamestown. This event will harken back to the roots of the original event, featuring classic cars, live music, and fun activities for all ages. Sponsoring the Jamestown Cruisin' is the Jamestown Renaissance Corporation, which previously organized and hosted this event and is financially supporting it this year. Additional sponsorship opportunities are available. Der Cobblers Automobile Association, Media One Group, and Northwest Arena are partners in presenting Jamestown's Cruisin'. Live classic music will take place on the corner of Main and 3rd Streets, along with a hula hoop contest, and I know that Randy Burt has already signed up for that. A bubblegum chewing contest, which I will not participate in because that will just get all over my beard, but you can join. 50s themed dress up, sounds like fun. There'll be a contest and a dance contest, providing activities for all ages. Chamber members are invited to participate as street vendors to offer food and or other items for sale. For more information, call the Chamber at 338-6089. Sounds like a lot of fun. And finally, August 19th, the Westfield Mayville Rotary Club is featuring a really cool fundraiser. It's to fight polio in the world, and they are dedicated to providing monies to support causes to eradicate polio. And they're going to have a miniature golf course tournament at Webb's on August 19th. I said that in Mayville. The team entry is a foursome for $50, which gets you 18 holes of mini golf. And if you want to be a sponsor for that, it's $50. Sponsors will be recognized. Chautauqua Sunrise will be sponsoring the first hole. An overall event sponsor is still being sought for around $500. And the thing to remember, every dollar that's raised becomes $6 through the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and Rotary International. Rain or shine, so mark it down. A miniature golf tournament, August 19th at Webb's. Okay, we're going to take a breather. I'm going to get a drink of water, and then we're going to have my guest coming on very shortly. Stay tuned.
This is the moment I knew. His future had no boundaries.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Well, Good morning and welcome back to Chautauqua Sunrise, and good afternoon for those of you who are listening to us on WRFA. And we have a special feature that we've never done here before. We are streaming live on Facebook. And so good morning to all of you that are tuned in on the social media. Happy to have everybody here. I mean, we're going like worldwide this morning. So, Jonathan Weston, Executive Director of Panama Rocks, you've been here before. I saw that you were going to have a special event coming up next weekend. I said, we got to have you back because this is just way too cool. But let's hold on that a little bit.
Sure.
We'll get to that. We'll kind of tease people with this. I told you that I was dressed particularly in theme of your event. We're not going to talk about it yet, as I just said, but I'll keep teasing. And we're going to give away passes to the event that we haven't talked about yet. So that'll be coming up. John, what the heck is Panama Rocks? There's people that might be watching right now, either on Facebook or watching TV or listening on the radio. Lots of people maybe have heard of it, but they don't know where it is. What is it?
Sure.
What do you do there?
Okay. Well, now first, thank you so much for having me back.
Absolutely.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Absolutely.
You know, and I just want to say I really do appreciate, Doc, what you do for this area, promoting. I mean, you just went. You had said something which I say all the time. It's if you're bored in Chautauqua County, you're living under a rock because there's so much wonderful things to do here. I moved back here 4 years ago from Washington, D.C., and I enjoyed my time there, but we wanted to come here and raise our family.
So you worked with Congressman Higgins, right?
Yeah, but I worked for Congressman Higgins, and I worked for a bipartisan commission on U.S.-China relations, so actually U.S.-China was my specialty, and I'm not doing that anymore, but it was interesting.
You just left when it was getting good.
Oh, my Lord.
We won't go there.
You know, it's still so fascinating, and I've had the opportunity to go there, and it's a beautiful country. The people are interesting. They have a great ancient history.
You've been to China?
Multiple times, yeah. Both personally and on staff delegations.
I would love to go there.
It's a great way to learn about an entirely different culture.
Yeah, they want me on their basketball team.
There you go. Yeah. Anyways, but you know, there's so many great things in our area, and thank you for what you do to promote them. And so one of those things that I came back to run is Panama Rock Scenic Park. The park itself, there's rock formations which stretch about half a mile-long main trail which loops around the rock formations. Our guests are welcome to go off the path, hike, explore, climb at your own risk. The wonderful thing about it is that it's great for all ages, as long as you can walk about a mile on uneven ground. It's not a terribly difficult trail, but you do have to go on uneven ground. We have multiple generations that come year after year. I've had I think I had a 6-week-old this year to a few years back a 97-year-old. It took him a little while, but he did it, and man, I hope I'm in that great shape when I'm that age. So grandparents with their grandkids, parents with their kids, and their parents, can all go in and enjoy it and do different levels of activities, which is wonderful. The rocks themselves are ancient. They're roughly 300 million years old. So there's crevices, passageways, small caves. It's in an old-growth forest. Most guests spend about an hour to an hour and a half, although we have people that spend all day, 4, 5, 6 hours exploring, hiking, climbing. So you can make it really what you want it to be. There's a little educational treasure hunt for kids of all ages. There's a lot to do there. It's just a beautiful place. We are very proud that for the last 8 years in a row, we've been the #1 rated attraction in Chautauqua County on TripAdvisor.com. TripAdvisor is the largest travel tourism website in the world.
Really?
So it's all based on independent user reviews. So we are very, very proud of that. The people that come have a wonderful time, and it's all based upon.
You're the #1 attraction in Chautauqua County
on TripAdvisor.com. Yep.
See how I did that?
And we're in the top. Yeah.
I gave you more airtime.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And we've been
#1 attraction.
Yeah.
Wow.
People come have a great time, and it's important to us. We want people to enjoy it, and fortunately, we have a wonderful product. It's I don't have to worry about quality control. It's there.
It's there.
It's just wonderful nature.
Proven.
Yeah, it's wonderful nature.
300 million years in the making.
It's actually been a park for 137 years. Panama Rock Scenic Park has operated as a park longer than the New York State park system has been around.
Right.
So it's a beautiful place. Check it out.
So, do we have any pics of that?
I don't think we do, because everything I bought was talk about the event that I'm not sure if we're mentioning. You haven't talked about it yet, so I'll let you lead in on that. Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, let's talk a little bit more about Panama Rocks, because that's going to be the back scene, the background to the event that we're going to talk about shortly here, and we will. For those of you who are tuning in, stay tuned, because we're live right now, and we're going to be giving away 2 passes to the event that we're going to talk about. I promise shortly. I'm not really doing this, but I want to lead up to it correctly. So you were on the show last year, and my granddaughter Kyla and I, we went and visited you, and she was totally enthralled. I mean, we did the treasure hunt, and I'm telling you right now, she was like a hound on a trail. I mean, she was, she goes, what is this clue? What is this clue? And I go, I'm not sure. And so it took us a little while to figure things out, but it was great fun. And then when we got to the end, I'm not going to give it away because there's an ending to the whole thing. And we just had a lot of fun.
And so that's what I love that. It's grandparent taking a grandchild, you know, and parents, that's, you know, 2 of 3 generations right there coming and doing something together. It's not, and the great thing is we get teens that, you know, would roll their eyes at a lot of family activities, but they're out there having fun. You know, I get kids, I love it. I'll get kids who don't really go outdoors and they're, you know, video game addicts, and they'll come in and there's being terrors in the office. We don't want to be here. He pulled me away from Call of Duty or whatever, Madden, whatever they're playing. And I see them 2 hours later as they're leaving, and they're being kind of little terrors again because they're having so much fun in the woods, exploring and playing, that they don't want to leave. Yep. And I really think that we don't have enough connection to nature, to the environment, to the outdoors anymore that we, you know, even I had growing up, that your generation had, and that's important. So we're reconnecting kids to the outdoors,
and you know,
it's huge.
Folks that are listening right now, if you haven't been to Panama Rocks, I was looking for that picture that came up on Facebook this morning. If you haven't been to Panama Rocks, it's not like anything else in Chautauqua County or New York State, as far as I can tell. It has that almost primal feel to it that you're almost expecting to see a dinosaur come crawling out of the crevices or waiting for a pterodactyl to fly over. I mean, it really has a prehistoric feel to it.
I actually get that a lot from people. I was like waiting for a velociraptor to pop around the corner like in Jurassic Park. Yeah, and I actually thought about it. Have you seen these, like, these really uber realistic, not the inflatable T-Rexes, which are funny. Maybe you should get one of those. But I thought about, like, man, maybe I could get like one of those guys with the dinosaur suit, just kind of like creep around and play with kids down there. But I've yet to find someone who's willing to do that. So let us know.
Where was I going with this?
No.
Anyways, but I know that we took our kids there when they were young, now our grandkids are there, and it really is a great thing. And I'm not just saying it because you're here, because it is. When folks go there, you said it's about a half mile. So can you just, because we don't have an immediate picture at the moment, let's just say you put the, let's do a virtual, put your feet on the ground, and you start walking. What are things that people actually would see?
Well, so the main trail is 1 mile that loops around a half-mile long ridge, and now you can go much more than that. I had a woman with kids about 8, 9 years old, and they went about 4 miles on her pedometer because there's a lot of side paths, crevices, and passageways, and they're varying levels of difficulty. So like I said, most people, if you're going to explore, most people spend an hour, 60 to 90 minutes on average to walk the trail casually but explore. So you walk in past the main gates, and you head down. On the main path, you'll immediately see crevices start to open up. Now you can stay on the main trail, you can head down into the crevices. It's a giant maze, a rock playground. You do have to be careful. There are cliffs, crevices, and holes in the ground. We do occasionally get an injury, so I gotta say, all of our bad injuries are people doing really, really dumb things. You know, I mean, it's like, don't jump off that cliff. I literally had a guy, you know, the accident was he jumped across a 10-foot wide crevice to a rock that was 10 feet lower than he was. He made the jump. He just broke his ankle because he weighed 240 pounds, and that's a lot of weight and pressure to go. You know, I calculated if it was probably about 600 pounds of pressure on his ankle when he landed. I mean, don't do stupid things, you know. So as long as you're careful, you'll be just fine. We have people that ask about that. But you'll see crevices, passageways open up. The trees will actually come down the rocks. The tree roots snake around.
That's the part I want you to talk about. The root system.
The moss and ferns growing right off the rocks. So the rocks themselves are a mix of quartz conglomerates, little quartz, white quartz, milky crystals hidden throughout the rocks. There's moss growing all over them. The tree roots snake down, ferns popping out everywhere. It's very green. There's a ton of native flora and fauna.
And during the treasure hunt, you're sort of putting people's attention to some of that, right?
You have to, yes. So you're learning a little bit about some native trees, native plants, native animals. You actually have to learn to identify some of the, you're looking for that picture, huh?
Yeah, that's all right.
Okay.
We're gonna let it go.
You actually identify some invasive species. So, sadly, our ash trees throughout the country are basically standing dead. There's an invasive insect, a little green insect about not even the size of a penny, called the emerald ash borer. It's going to kill 99+% of all the ash trees. Our beech trees are dying because of invasive fungus and insect mixed.
Right.
It's called together. We just call it beech bark disease. Our hemlock trees are at risk, and hopefully they can save them because they're insanely important species to our forest ecosystem because of another invasive insect. As you go through the treasure hunt, you learn to identify what they look like, and then you can call the state, New York Department of Environmental Conservation, the state, the Pennsylvania, if you live in PA. I mean, we have a lot of guests from Erie that come out, the Pennsylvania State Department of Conservation. If you see it, report it, and they will do their best to quarantine and contain it. Stopping the spread of these invasive species and saving our forests will take everybody.
As I was searching for the picture, which of course you know how Facebook is, you see it, and then when you go back to it, it's like 14 feet down the list. So I wish I had it. I just can't find it. But anyways, what I wanted to mention was, these warmer, muggy days, Panama Rocks is the place to go. You wouldn't think so. It's got to be, 10 degrees cooler or
when
more?
you go down, so the forest is the forest, but when you're in some of those crevices, they'll hold at 60 to 65 degrees.
Yeah.
We had a guy come out yesterday, and he said we have one formation it's called Paradise Alley. I think they named, it's been that name for 100+ years, 137 years. I think they probably named it like that because it's the crevice itself is 250 feet long. At the end of it, it's 60 feet deep. There's a series of 2 caves at the end of it. This 200-foot long crevice, the air comes in, and the rocks are, 60 feet underground. So it's the temperature of the earth, 50, 60 feet underground. Yeah. So it sucks this air through. It creates a breeze, and it just sucks it down, and it flows out. So you get this steady breeze on you of about 60 degrees. It's natural air conditioning. It's just blowing at you like an air conditioner.
It's a great...
I've yet to figure out how to pump that up to my house, so we're still paying for AC boxes, but yeah, it's great. You just set in a cave on a more hot day and cool off.
So how did you get involved with the Panama Rocks? I know you said it's been there for 137 years as a park, but how did...
So it's actually privately owned. Different individuals and families have owned Panama Rocks since 1885. My family, my parents actually in the 70s lived in Buffalo, and they had bought in the early 70s a ramshackle farmhouse to get the heck out of the city and come down and spend some time out. They just loved Chautauqua County, loved the countryside. And, they saw a for sale sign at Panama Rocks one day, and they, I bet we can get a back tour, see all the buildings if we say we're interested. So they go and do a tour, and I probably shouldn't, I like to tell a story, but
it's okay.
So they take a tour of the property, and then one of their friends is a real estate agent with a bottle of wine at dinner one night. Well, if we sold, they had their house in Buffalo and a rental property in Buffalo. If we sold everything we own, borrow as much money as we can from my grandparents, their parents, and take a loan out, it still wasn't what the previous owners wanted, and they didn't think they'd get it. They put an offer in, it wasn't, they didn't hear back for a while, and then they I don't know, months later, they are you still interested? And they acquired the property and they kept it running. I think that they were in for a surprise when they did that. There was a lot.
So how old were you at the time?
I wasn't born yet, so I was.
This precedes you.
-3. But they had a lot of repairs to the buildings. I think the first year they had to replace the entire septic system. The second year, the back half of the rec hall collapsed. So they have spent a ton of money, of their personal money, fixing up the structures. And for most of the time, they didn't. We don't. I pull a tiny salary, a third of what I used to make. My mom was a teacher. That's how we lived. The park, basically, we'd loan it money, and maybe in some year my dad could pay himself minimum wage if he was lucky. But they loved it.
So it was a passion rather than
It's a wonderful place to live.
Yeah. So you grew up there.
Yeah.
So that's why you know all these statistics inside out. Wow.
I grew up there and watched my parents run it. And
so did you? So did you and your family members, cousins, use it for your own personal playground?
Yeah, well, so my family, my cousins are in Michigan, and so my younger cousins are in Central PA. So yeah, I mean, I would.
That would be the coolest place to have.
It's always fun to have people.
Have your friends come
Yeah.
over, hey, let's hang
Yeah.
out at John's and let's go play hide go seek. You probably have some people still hiding out there.
I hope not. Yeah, hope not. That'd be creepy.
Okay, so let's get to why you're really here today.
Sure.
You've got a really cool event coming up. I saw this a few months ago when you posted it on Facebook,
Yep.
and I think I contacted you and I said,
You did?
John, we need to talk about this. So I'm going to be quiet and you tell us all about what's coming up next weekend.
Sure. So next weekend, July 29th and 30th. I'm going to get closer behind you. I'm going to hold this up here.
Sure.
We have the Wild America Nature Festival coming up. Now, when I moved back 4 years ago, aside from asking questions about where should we eat or where should we go next, I said, are you going to do a festival again? Because Panama Rocks held festivals from the mid-'70s until 1999.
What kind of festivals?
Folk Americana. We worked at the Harmony Historical Society.
Okay.
But we'd have, artists, vendors, craftspeople, historical reenactors, music. They were a lot of fun. So we're basing kind of what we're doing now with the Wild American Nature Festival off of that, but it's a different theme. It's about the nature and the environment, so it's a little bit more of our voice and who we are. Our partner organization is the Roger Tory Peterson Institute, so it's actually Roger Tory Peterson's Wild American Nature Festival at Panama Rocks. Now, there's going to be so many wonderful things happening here. We have over 40 high-quality nature artists and craftspeople who either work with art that is a nature focus, like a painter or a photographer, or people who do art using organic materials such as clay or wood. I'm really excited, so you can see some images there. See that burger up in the middle there? That is a burger from Green Heron Growers, one of our food vendors in our local food cook-off. And
Oh, so it's not a sculpture. I'm not playing. I mean,
no,
that's real food.
Oh, that's food. That's
Wow.
the beef is locally raised, grass-fed Devon beef. Devon is an incredibly high-quality heritage cattle, all grass-fed. The mushrooms you see off the side of that burger are green heron shiitake organic mushrooms.
Wow.
That green stuff up there is garlic scape pesto, and if you haven't had garlic scape pesto, you need to get some. The buns are locally made in Jamestown. So this is a local, I pretty much just only eat their burgers anymore. It's just wonderful. But so Green Heron Growers from Sherman, New York. We have the White Carrot Restaurant is one of our food vendors in Mayville. High-end, farm-to-table. Brian Kendall, the chef there, came from New York. He was working in 5 Diamond restaurants in New York. He's from Chautauqua County. His wife's from Chautauqua County. And like me, they moved back and say, we want to start a place here.
There's a migration back to
There
Chautauqua
is, and there's
County.
some
A lot of people
real
are-
talent there,
Yeah.
yep. This cake that you see up on the lower right-hand corner, actually, she hasn't moved back yet, but my sister's restaurant, she's from Chautauqua County, she's in Brattleboro, New York. So the third food vendor I'm going to talk about is Super Fresh Organic Cafe. You might be familiar with Yankee Magazine. I mean, they're
sure,
the
absolutely.
huge magazine all
It's in New
throughout the
England,
New
yeah.
England area. Yankee Magazine rated her restaurant the best vegetarian restaurant in the state of Vermont.
Really?
It's a huge honor. She's coming
So
back.
she's number one and you're number one, and she's coming here. So
She's coming back to do food.
A little
You see that
sibling
cake
rivalry
there?
Who's
She does. She specializes in vegan, organic, raw, gluten-free, soy-free. I know it's not. Believe me, it's not flavor-free. She is an amazing chef. You're going to love her food. So we have Green Heron Growers, the White Carrot, Super Fresh Organic Cafe. We have Labyrinth Press Company out of Jamestown coming to do food. And you might, in one of those photos, there was one of their cinnamon rolls. And so I'm a celiac. I can't eat wheat. I'm gluten-free.
Right.
But they have some gluten-free goodies. But they have some wonder. There it is. Oh man, look at that! I want one of the. I should have brought. If I could have time to stop in Jamestown, I would have brought one here.
If you
So
bring
just-
one, you better
yep.
bring 10.
And actually, on the left, there's a little bit blocked by the Cardinal. You have a wonderful local. I think it's a local beet dish. Local greens from White Carrot, beautiful and colorful. They're amazing. And then our 5th food vendor is. I talk about White Carrot.
You're on your own.
Reverie Creamery. Oh my gosh! So I
down the
got to
road.
go down the list.
Just
Reverie
down the-
Creamery out of
just down the
Chautauqua.
road here, yeah.
And let me tell you, if you haven't had their cheese, they opened up a few years ago. I don't know if it was last year.
It's not been very long.
Last year or 2 years ago. Last year, their cheese, Tom. Rico over there loves music, so Tom is named after Tom Waits. He's after his cheese after music or songs. But Tom was the #1 cheese in the state of New York in a New York State competition.
You got a lot of number ones going on here.
We have
This is
the
going to be a
best
great
of
event.
the best of Chautauqua County, of the state, of other states coming here. So what they're doing, Reverie Creamery is doing tartine open-faced sandwiches. They're going to have one, which is a rendang beef curry. So Rico, one of the owners there, is actually Indonesian. Lives here, has been in the U.S. for a long time. They actually lived in Texas before they moved to this area. They'd gone to Chautauqua a lot. They really made cheese and said, we're done with corporate life. We're moving to Chautauqua County and we're making cheese. And they've done a really amazing job at it. Winners of Best in New York. But so Rico's Indonesian, so he's using local beef with bread from buffalo, one of their award-winning Luna cheeses. I believe it's Luna. They'll have some locally sourced beef made in rendang is just an Indonesian spices, slow-cooked kind of wonderful flavors. There's some local veggies on it. That's one of the open-faced sandwiches. The other sandwich they're doing is a Barcelona whitefish.
Oh, okay.
Open-faced sandwich. I mean, smoked Barcelona whitefish. I mean, so White Carrot's still deciding what they're going to do. They're very seasonal. What's good now? My sister, she should have her menu right now. She's using all local foods. I believe that Labyrinth is, among other things, doing a local egg salad sandwich. Among some other things, they might do being their chicken, or not a chicken. It's a vegetable marsala. It's an Indian. I mean, it is some of the best Indian food. I mean, it's not an Indian restaurant, but and I lived in D.C. You know, and they're one of their masala dish competed with some of the best I had.
I'm sitting here laughing, and you're throwing terms at me. My brain is on overload.
Here's the thing: you want burgers, you want just a beef sandwich, you can get it. But you want Indonesian food, or food with an Indonesian twist. You want some Indian flavors. You want just your regular old beef and potatoes. You can get it. If you just your kids are picky, but if you are a foodie, if you like gourmet food.
This is your day.
And we're going to have a farmer's market component. Now, I'd be remiss if I didn't say that our local food cook-off and farmer's market component is sponsored by Edible Western New York. Can we pull the sponsor thing up real quick so I could talk about them real fast?
Sure.
And some of our sponsors, if you don't mind. So, Edible Western New York, it's a new magazine. Their second issue just came out. Stephanie Shuckers-Burdo, who used to be at the Visitors Bureau, put this out. It's free. Pick it up. It's all of Western New York. It's a foodie magazine. If you like food, you like restaurants, you like local food, you like recipes, pick it up. She's doing some great things there. If I could really just talk.
If I didn't fear for my life, I would cancel my trip to Maine.
You should, yeah, right?
No, you don't understand. It would be like instant death.
We have some other things happening here. Just briefly, if I'll talk about the sponsors, and we'll talk about everything else.
Sure.
Just to give some due credit. Community Foundation, through a generous sponsorship, is sponsoring one of our keynote speakers, Dr. Douglas Talamy, who's going to talk about native plants and biodiversity. J. Edwards Insurance, we use them for our insurance. They're one of our generous sponsors. Erie Times News, we're excited to have them. Help us reach out to Erie. It's a big market. And Erie's only 40 minutes away. It took me 40 minutes to drive anywhere in D.C. People go, oh, do you ever? We get people from Erie here.
That was just to get a coffee in D.C.
So Erie Times, we're excited to have them involved.
Wonderful.
And they're writing a story down there. Jamestown Mattress, I'm not only a spokesperson, I'm a client. I tell you.
I'm just a regular person.
I'm just a regular person, but I sleep on a Jamestown mattress. They employ local people. Yeah. They're a local company that support local, please. But they have a wonderful organic cotton line coming out, all organic. If you have allergies, they can help you out. They have a wonderful, wonderful mattress. And let me tell you, invest in a good mattress. Your sleep is worth it.
And then you had the media one?
Then finally, Media One Group out there. They're one of our other generous sponsors. They should be out there on Saturday. Really excited to have them and do some great things to help, like you, promote the community.
All right. Catch your breath.
That's it, yeah.
All right, catch your breath.
Help our sponsors.
All right, you're watching Chautauqua Sunrise. I'm Doc Hamels, and my guest today is Jon Weston, Executive Director of Panama Rocks. Now, listen, right now, starting as soon as I'm done talking, this little part here is give us a call at 753-5225, and Jon has graciously allowed us to give away 2 passes to the event. Now, how much is the event?
The event, if you buy it it's officially right now under a discount, officially through the 23rd, although I might extend it till Wednesday. So if you go online to Wild America Fest, WILDAMERICAFEST, just .com, wildamericafest.com, you can get a weekend pass for the price of a one-day pass. So the day pass is $10 for adults. If you're age 6 to 12, it's $5. 5 and under is free, always at Panama Rocks.
Okay.
So you get a weekend pass for that price, or if you come at the gate, a weekend pass is $15, and a kids pass youth pass is $8.
All right,
it's really not
so
expensive.
Starting right now, guys, if you would like to attend this event for a one-day pass for 2 people, you don't get the pass. You just simply leave your name right here. So the first person calls, leave your name and it'll go on John's guest list, and you just show up at the event, and you'll be like VIP person. Hi, I'm Doc Hamels. Oh, we have you on our list. Come on in. Okay, fair enough.
Just if they do end up calling where they can hear it over the show. If they do call in or something, just give a first name. I mean, give the full name to back there. They'll be back. Okay.
You just call the
Then you
station.
get everyone saying, "Hi, I'm John Smith."
Just call the station, and
Yeah,
one of the
right.
operators, one of our many operators in the other room will take your call and write your name down. Okay.
Perfect.
All right. Ooh, boy. I was going to ask you some really good questions here. We have two pictures. Let's pop those up. There we go, folks.
There we go.
Okay. So
Castle Rock.
Castle Rock.
That's one of the first formations, the first large formations you'll see. It's number 1 on our map as you come down through there. That's actually about 25 feet up off the ground, that shot. So there's a big, gigantic rock. That's the top of a big, gigantic rock. It is, I mean, you have to climb up to the top, but it's not that hard. You can go up the front, it's a little bit more challenging. You can go up the back. Always be careful if you do choose to explore off the trail, of course. But it's fun. You see how it's just kind of eroded away. It's kind of balanced
it's
there.
really awesome.
Yeah.
And then we have one more picture. Jeff was able to bring
Thank you,
these up
Jeff.
for it. Yeah, one more. Oh yeah.
Isn't that a great shot? That really catches the character, some of the rocks, the ridges, and the formations you can see.
There's strata there. Yeah. So
You
great.
just wander around. That's in a side path where you can just like wander
So
through.
how was Panama Rocks formed? Did you tell us? I can't.
I didn't. Yeah, no. So roughly 300 million.
there's another
there
one.
we
There's
go.
another
Great.
one.
Roughly 300 million years ago, what's now the continent of North America sat in the equator. The east coast faced south, and most of the east coast was a shallow ocean called the Appalachian Basin. The rocks, the Panama rocks, were sand in that basin. As the land raised up, as the continent, about 250, 230 million years ago, you had the formation of Pangaea, the supercontinent. All
Right.
the continents were together. As the land came together, the land slowly raised up. The water drained out. It created a river delta, deposited sediment into a more concentrated area. We were part of that river delta. That's why it was deposited so deeply. And then, as the land continued to raise up, the water completely drained out. A natural chemical in the sand called calcite bound, it's like a natural cement, bound the stones and sand together and formed the rocks that you see today.
See, I wanted to ask you about that because it looks like the formations look like cement.
It's
like
natural cement,
Little
yeah.
pebbles and things. Are there
Yeah.
any fossils in there?
The quartz, so the rocks that we have there are called quartz conglomerate sedimentary. They're a very coarse-grained rock. They don't hold sediment fossils well. But in that sand, there are layers of clay and other types of rocks. So in the clay that you can actually be like sometimes wedged in there, just find on the trail, you have a ton of fossils.
Oh, okay.
So you'll see all these. I mean, I don't remember the scientific names off the top of my head. There is a full geology at panamarocks.com if you are interested. But you can actually see the seashells. Some actually see the fossilized seashells, or see the remnants of the seashells in the clay. And in the quartz conglomerate rocks, so you'll see these round white rocks. That's quartz crystals
yeah.
called quartz conglomerate. They're round from that wave action of just rolling back and forth in the waves in the riverbanks, in the sand, just being ground down and smoothed out. So there's a lot of different ways that you can tell that it was underwater at one time.
Okay. All right, let's get back to the event now itself.
Sure.
So let me roll back the tape and see if I got everything at least in in a broad scope. This is an event that features Wild America, and everything is from food to music to art and so forth.
Yep.
Now, if you said
Live animals.
We didn't talk about that.
Okay, so yeah, I'll run through. I was talking about the food, and I got sidetracked. So we have over 40 nature artists, really high quality, but the pricing will be arranged. So if you want to come and spend $10, there's something there for you. If you want us to come and spend a few $1,000s, please support our artists.
So people can get artwork.
Oh, you're shopping.
So are we talking ceramics, oils, and things like that, or what are you talking?
Oh yeah, we have some amazing artists, and I'd love to mention everyone individually, but
You'll get in trouble if you do. You know. If
yeah,
you don't
no,
get
it'll
all
take
40 of
it'll
them.
take the hour.
Well, are there local ones?
There
from
are a
Chautauqua
lot
County?
of local artists, some really high quality local artists. So we also have regional artists. One of our artists has been the artist in residence at multiple national parks, has been featured on duck stamps, been
wow.
featured by Ducks Unlimited magazines. We have an artist whose art was recently published in a guidebook to amphibians and reptiles throughout the Northeast. We have artists who are just national award winners. Also, in addition to the art show, where you can both buy and look at the art, we have two real high-quality artists giving lectures and talks and art demonstrations.
That's fascinating.
Thomas Paquette and Michael DiGiorgio. Thomas Paquette is lives in Northwest PA. He doesn't live too far away.
And what topics were they going to talk about?
He had just finished up a exhibit that was been around the country for solo exhibits on the 50th anniversary of the Wilderness Act. So he went around the country painting wilderness areas.
Wow.
And so he's going to be talking a little about that. His current project, he's working on the Mississippi River Delta. So he's painting the Mississippi River Delta. And he'll be talking about going to these places, painting them, the experience he's had, show you some of his art, and also talk about some of these things have to do with the Wilderness Act and regulations that protect these wild areas and keep them healthy. And so we'll talk about the tenuous nature of our laws that protect the wild, which will be really interesting. He's a phenomenal painter. His works are in embassies, U.S. embassies across the world. This is a real high-quality guy.
Now, the first speaker you mentioned earlier, he's going to talk about what again?
Okay, well, let me just talk about the two painters real quick. So there's Thomas Paquette, Michael DeGiorgio. Michael DeGiorgio is our other painter lecturer, and he's going to be talking about his journey. He's one of the well-known internationally bird artists.
Okay.
He does international books, paintings across the Americas. He's from Connecticut, coming through our TPI to come speak and do an art demonstration. Phenomenally talented guy. You can buy both of these guys' prints at the festival if you'd like. Real phenomenal stuff. Our two keynote speakers, the one sponsored by Community Foundation, Dr. Douglas Tallamy. He is the author of Bringing Nature Home, How You Can Sustain Wildlife with Native Plants. It has been a bestseller on Amazon.com in the landscape category for 10 years. Dr. Tallamy is probably the expert on native plants and biodiversity in the United States. He's coming right here to Chautauqua County to Panama Rocks. He's an entomologist by trade, and his research has shown that if you love birds and fish and frogs and amphibians and everything else out there, all those populations depend on insects because they eat them. They're their food source.
That's
So
right.
insects, all the biodiversity we have relies on insects, but then the insect populations directly rely upon the amount and biodiversity of native plants.
That's all connected.
So if we don't take care of our native plant population, we don't have insects, we don't have birds and bees and trees.
Right.
Let's look at the monarch butterfly. That caterpillar only eats milkweed. And it's come back a little bit in recent years, but there was a 95% decrease in monarch populations in recent years due to habitat loss. So he'll be talking about that and what you can do to plant beautiful native plants in your home and garden, office space, whatever, to help support biodiversity. And he's great at communicating it on a level for the layperson. Our other speaker is Michael Phillips. He is probably the leading expert in the U.S. on what he calls holistic agriculture, really even going beyond organic, getting away from herbicides and pesticides, talking about the whole health of the plant. His third book just came out this spring. He'll be giving one talk each morning at the festival and giving 2 workshops each day at the festival.
You're not excited about this, are you?
I'm super excited about this.
All right, John, take a breather.
Yep.
I got to check with my crew. Have we given away the passes yet, guys? Okay, so guys, they're watching, folks, right now, live, right now, not later. Give us a call at 753-5225, and if you want 2 free passes, what? Oh, yeah, I knew that. We'll get your names on the guest list. Okay, we do have a caller, so good morning, caller.
Well, good morning, Jack, and good morning, Jonathan.
Are you supercharged listening to this show today, or what? John's on fire.
Well, I'm really fascinated with your presentation, Jonathan.
Oh, thank you.
Those pictures are phenomenal. And, we have so much of beautiful geography where we live here in Chautauqua County.
Indeed.
And I'm a firm believer in helping enrich the environment with alternative ways of controlling different pests and that sort of thing. So I didn't realize that the monarch population, did you say it went down by 9.5%?
95.
95. Oh, my goodness.
A few years ago, there was 5% of what existed in the 90s.
Oh, my goodness.
Both due to destruction of their overwintering grounds in Mexico and due to, a lot in the Midwest as farms massively spray herbicides such as Roundup across a massive amount of area. You're killing off milkweed, and they need the milkweed as they go. So people are planting milkweed way stations to help them. But so we're going to be raising awareness about the environment at this festival as well as having a lot of fun.
Great.
Yeah.
Now, Jonathan, I wanted to ask you about the bat population. What's happening to the bats in our area?
It's being different species of bats are being affected differently, but the bat populations are being decimated by another invasive disease called white nose syndrome. It's an invasive fungus. The little brown bat is the most affected. Actually, Chautauqua Watershed Conservancy, we're very excited to have them come to the festival. We have a number of nonprofits that will be there as well. Jonathan Townsend, one of their bat experts, he'll be talking about the bat population and do some educational activities on that topic. And there is some interesting activities of trying to rehab the the small little brown bat, and help them recover from the white nose syndrome. Yeah, I'm talking too many things.
I understand. Every Saturday morning I have that problem.
Yeah, I know that, years ago I'd never get a mosquito bite. Now I'm getting them all the time because I haven't seen one bat this summer.
One little brown bat can eat over 1,000 mosquito-sized insects in a night. Wow. And I always tell people, if you have a bat in your house, don't kill it, please.
No.
They're wonderful animals.
They are wonderful.
They're not going to get caught in your hair. They have incredible sonar.
No.
All they want to do is eat a bunch of insects. It's helping you out. So protect bats, please. Yeah. We are going to have some other wild animals at the festival, which I'm really excited about too. Wild Spirit Education, talking about animal conservation, is going to be there. The wildlife rehabbers, they're going to be bringing some of their wild birds of prey, maybe some other animals. On Saturday from 10 to 2, the Erie Zoo will be there with some of their animals. Wow. And for the whole weekend, we'll have American Hawkeye, who's a falconer, bringing their birds of prey, doing flight demonstrations and everything. So you can get up and close to some of these beautiful, beautiful wild animals, meet them in person, see how they work and live, and hopefully get people excited about nature and the environment.
Yeah, I get very excited about it.
Right.
Yes.
So what's going on in your world this week?
Well, I wanted to make our announcement that we still have our computer training going strong in Brockton and Hyra Library, and also the Westfield Patterson Library. We're looking for people still in the Jamestown area to be transport aides. So if people are interested, they should contact me with the Senior Employment Office at the Chautauqua County Office for the Aging. The number is on the screen, 753-4471. There are also other services with the Office for the Aging, and you asked me to confirm the date for the senior picnic.
Yes.
And the date is, I was wrong, the date that I gave you, it is the 18th on a Friday of August.
I'm writing it down for next week. Senior picnic, August 18th. All right, Lynn. Well, we got to run. So
okay, have a great week and a great weekend.
Thanks for calling in.
Okay, thanks.
Super.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye. Okay, John, we got a couple minutes left, and I don't know if we've given away the passes yet, but if we haven't, please call 753-5225. I feel like I'm on a telethon here.
There you go.
And you can go to this unbelievable event for free. Okay, so John, what else you want to tell us?
So in addition to the food vendors there's going to be a farmer's market. Forgive me if I forget anybody. Abers Acres is signed up. Big Tree Maple, some maple products is signed up. Toboggan Hill Farms, Good Grass Farms. I know I'm forgetting something off the top. Oh, Apocaville with Apocas and Apoca products. Pretty
Apocas.
cool.
Right.
Yep. The Audubon will be there with some talks with retired JC professors.
Where are you putting all these people?
We have a lot of land.
All right.
And of course, Green Heron Growers and Reverie are going to have their farm products there as well.
Right.
So there'll be just amazing food, a bunch of other activities, talks, nonprofits will be there. I mentioned the Watershed Conservancy, Greystone Nature Preserve, the Harmony Historical Society. I don't have time to list everybody, unfortunately, but it's going to be a wonderful event.
All right, so let's go through the times and the prices and all that for next week.
It's July 29th and 30th, Saturday and Sunday. 10 a.m. till 7 p.m. on Saturday, and then 10 a.m. until 5 p.m. on Sunday.
Okay.
Field parking is $5. Street parking is free. The day admission is 5 and under are free. 6 through 12 are $5. 13 and up is $10. Weekend pass is you get a weekend pass for that day pass price online up until at least tomorrow night. Maybe we'll extend it. We'll see. And then weekend pass at the gate is $15 for adults and $8 for.
That's a reason. All this stuff or that.
The general response I've gotten is, "Wow, it's not. You're not charging as much as we thought it would be." So, but we want people to be able to come and enjoy it. We want it to be affordable for people. We have to pay our costs, but we want it to work for them.
Well, Jonathan Weston, I hope you have a great weekend of weather and that all goes well
Looks
for
good
you.
so far.
And so do keep in touch. Folks, you've been watching Chautauqua Sunrise. My guest today was Jonathan Weston, who's the General Manager and Executive Director of Panama Rocks. And they got this wonderful event coming up next week in the Wild America Nature Festival. next weekend. So see you next week. Have a great week and take care. Bye now.
Thank you, Doc.
Absolutely.